Well, hi there. There's baseball. It's Sunday. Let's talk about the MLB algorithm. We're going to do this in let's do under 5 minutes. But the problem is I haven't looked over this yet. I'm prepared. So there's a list of people that have paid me for this algorithm. I sent them this version already without looking at it, without really doing too much work on it. And then there's another dozens and dozens of people that email me that just want a copy for free. And I like to give it out for free. I like people to use it, but also don't like to give out the product I haven't worked on for free because I might put out something wrong, and people that at least paid me understand that because I have more of a relationship with those people who have asked for something multiple times. So as I go through the video here, understand if you want to get on the paid list, you can just send me some money and you'll get on the paid list. It's that easy. So let's talk about today. Let's try to do this fast. Katrina needs a round robin pick of the day, so we're going to get there. Let's do it. Most lineups not confirmed. This game just starting. Yep, another big win for the Yankees. Do you just put the Yankees to win on your round robin? Limited pitching stats for Ronnie Garcia. But actually that lowered the score of the Yankees by 2 runs, didn't it? How about that? So last year's Ronnie Garcia has a better ERA but has no innings. This is one of those games where the Yankees should win, but the line's terrible, so I don't know what to do. And this time I'll stay away from it. I lost the over 5.5 on them yesterday, so you could bet them to win on the round robin. That's acceptable because they are supposed to win. But you'll see sometimes, you can't bet them -1.5 because they're at home. Cleveland, Baltimore. Oh boy, Dean Kremer's last year's stats, because he hasn't pitched this year, were brutal. 077.75. I think that's going to be a slot machine 777, and that Cleveland will put up 7 runs. That's what I think is going to happen. But that's 53 innings last year at ugliness. So this guy's probably going to get hit. Weather's gorgeous today in Baltimore. So Cleveland lets you down yesterday. But seeing this and seeing what I believe is nice weather, 776, it's going to be pretty. I think that the algorithm says they get over 6.5. So Cleveland team runs can go on a round robin. Cleveland to win, 3 runs there, 13% margin. They got a better lineup factor, which isn't announced yet, but team runs or the money line, you can split up. I'm actually going to do many round robins like I always do. So I'll do both. I'll split it up on both because you can't put that on the same one. I don't do that same game parlay stuff or whatever. I don't do any of that. So Cleveland to win. Cleveland over 4.5 runs, which is probably what it's going to be. Angels and Philadelphia. How can you put any money on the Angels? At least the algorithm favors Philadelphia by margin, even if not by score in this game. So Angels are playing bad. Philadelphia's barely supposed to win this at home. Philadelphia probably wins this, even though it's a really low pick. It's not a great round robin pick. Like, I'm doing a primary and a secondary round robin, and I'm not going to type them, but we will at least highlight teams we like. So we like Cleveland to win runs. We like the Yankees, but we can't really bet much because of the line. Here, all right, like another pick we like, but not as much, we'll make green. So Philadelphia green there. Arizona and Pittsburgh. Really likes Arizona today because Zach Allen good. Zach Thompson's not so much. Battle of Zach's, the one with the H, is not throwing enough Ks. So it likes Arizona. The line not great. But this is a 4 pick of the day. I'd be ignoring the algorithm if I didn't say that is a pick. So that's a pick. Then you've got Minnesota and Toronto with a weird low-scoring game today. Well, after it predicts a ton of runs for them yesterday and they get there, today it does basically the exact opposite. Because Devin Smeltzer good and Kevin Gausman throwing Gausman, is good. So this clears the under 8.5. Amazing. I guess it wants you to take the under, which I feel like I'll make the top one I'll highlight. I don't know how to do that. Like it wants the under here in this game. Who's supposed to win this game? Toronto, but the line is not worth it. And the projected score says no, so that's weird. So Minnesota plus 1.5 because they are plus 200 is another one of these picks, actually. So this is the plus 1.5 here because of this line and because of this. And because Devin Smeltzer's good. I mean, that's the logic. They're on the road. It's easier to cover 1.5, plus 1.5 when you're on the road. And they have a good pitcher. So that's actually, on like I said, 2 round robins I'm going to have going with different stuff. Because as you can see, you have 2 things in the same game you want to bet here. Minnesota plus 1.5 and under 8.5, really. But I'll take under 8 here, given it's showing this. That's fine. I mean, that's 5.3 runs. It says they're under 6.5 in this game, which is really an interesting alternate under for a straight bet. Washington and Cincinnati. Oh boy, does Washington have Corbin going? You know what that means. Yep, only 9.5. I like that this is predicting almost 11 runs already. So clearly the over 9.5, once again like yesterday, goes on the round robin list. Then like Cincinnati to win this game because Corbin just has so much trouble. Washington's won the first 2 in this series and is playing a little better, and they won it. I saw the manager was pulling pitchers quick to make sure that they held up and won yesterday. So this line is not good at a minus 178. So I'm hesitant to play the winner here because you can see it doesn't pay, but the alternate over will pay. What's the weather? What's the weather in Cincinnati, as we say? 6 mile per hour in. All right, so that's not good for over. There's that. So alternate over may not be on my list, but the over 9.5 is still going on my list because of Corbin. I mean, yesterday they put up 18 runs, but the weather was different. You got to cut it in half not to beat 9.5. And if you're scared, take the alternate 9, which you probably push on at the worst. All right, so White Sox and Tampa Bay. Sort of limited stats for Yarbrough. Giolito's good. At least I remember him being good, but yet it doesn't pick the White Sox in this game. But it does say they lose by less than 1.5. So as I sip some coffee, notice the line is almost a pick 'em. So the line would say you can maybe win 2 bets here by betting Tampa Bay to win and the White Sox plus 1.5. Tougher game though. Pitching matchup. It's close. It is close enough that this plus 1.5 is potential. Has potential here, but not to win. But the margin doesn't favor. This is one where I talk myself out of what the algorithm's saying. Algorithm's saying stay away. Saying the margin is less than 10% and the runs are close. If anything, I would take the White Sox plus 1.5 because that clears the algorithm's prediction here. They're on the road, easier to cover 1.5. Giolito, a good pitcher that can keep and likes to go longer innings sometimes. All right, San Francisco, Miami. San Francisco win 5-2, almost a 10% margin. You're betting on Junis again, but he's pitching well this year, and Braxton Garrett is not. Is this your stats? No. Braxton Garrett is making his first start this year. And if we look real quick at I think he's been pitching in the minors this year. His ERA was 6.75 in single A for 2 innings. Pitched 5 games in 26 innings, and he's 2-1 with a 3.2 ERA at AAA. So that's better than this 5 ERA. So you could try going with this instead of as bad as this is. So that would bring Miami into a closer game somehow, and that would lower the margin. So I'm a little torn on whether or not you can just take, but his ERA is still 3. Junis, I'd wait for lineups on this game, but it's still probably going to be San Francisco if you play that game. Houston, are they going to blow another one today? Today they got to blow one to a Jonathan Heasley with almost a 4.66 ERA, and they still have a bad bullpen on Kansas City. So somehow they shut them out yesterday. Hey, it says utter destruction, number one pick of the day. I'm not going to fight with the algorithm. So you want this -1.5 because they're on the road. You got to get paid here. You can do it here where you can't do it with the Yankees because the Yankees are at home. I mean, you shouldn't do it with the... Plus, it doesn't even pay as much. That's -300. Here, you're at least going to get about even money. About. Maybe -110 with Houston -1.5. But it says 6-1. And a lot of reasons they score runs this game. So, algorithm's saying take it. Milwaukee and San Diego. This one barely... Milwaukee squeaks one over Clevenger, who's pitching well. But Eric Lauer's pitching really well. Milwaukee at home with Lauer, but San Diego, another under game, 6.2 and 7.5. Yeah, these two teams have been fighting pitching battles this series. Alternate under 8 I would pay for just in case this thing, well, it's 7.5. Actually, it's kind of the same thing. Is this game going to be 5-3? No, the game's going to be 3-3 or 4-4, right? Or 2-2 or something like that. So it stays under 7.5. So I guess you take the under. Not going to win every time, but still worthy of it based on what's going on here. And it says take Milwaukee because I'm barely pitching match in favor. I'd wait for lineups on this, but it's possible. Even though San Diego's taken the first two, algorithm puts Milwaukee over the edge here, and I see why. Clevenger is only 14 innings pitched also here. And he's won, I think, one of his 3 starts. So we'll see what happens there. Then Seattle and Texas. Martin Perez puts Texas this time over Seattle, even though they've been giving the games to Seattle recently. Because Martin Perez is pitching excellent, 1.42 RE. George Kirby, not bad. Not great, but not bad. Bullpen ERA. The lineup on Texas is what might slow this down. But this line's okay for what's saying a 2-run victory for Texas. So, Texas has taken 1 out of the 2 in this series so far, I believe. So it says Texas. Atlanta, Colorado. You got an 11.5 over weather in Colorado today because their runs are all over the place. Atlanta ends up winning 6-2, but with extra inning runs that got them there. 6 mile per hour, 83. So we're back to warm weather in Colorado. So maybe you're seeing more overs there today. So we're going to keep an eye on that game, and that they can hit the overs when the weather's good. Here it says 8.9 goals without 8.9 runs without the Colorado weather. So Charlie Morton with throwing a 5.47 ERA. That's what's sneaky. So he's the one you'd think of as the good pitcher. And Feltner's actually got better stats even being a Colorado pitcher. That's astonishing. And the margin's nothing. So this line not deserving of Atlanta. Wow, it's really picking an underdog Colorado, isn't it? It's saying it by score. It's saying it gives them the pick of the day. So this is an underdog. Tough to play on a round robin. Is there anything to play in this game on a round robin? I think it's Colorado's team runs. Because this Charlie Morton ERA, the fact that you're in Colorado with good weather, their over-under on runs is probably set at 5? Yeah, it's probably about 5. And it says they almost get there without being in Colorado. So I'm okay with the Colorado team run over because they're also weirdly supposed to win this game. And I guess the straight bet is Colorado to see if they can get ahead. All right? So not Colorado to win on the round robin, but something runs-wise with Colorado on a round robin I think is going. Boston and Oakland. Slightly favored Boston in underdog line. An 11% margin, 6 pick of the day. So that is clear Boston to win. Why is that? Frankie Montas pitching okay, but his record doesn't show it. Rich Hill pitching worse. So why does Boston win this game? Because they're supposed to out-hit Oakland and the rest of Oakland. And Oakland's losing and Boston being a little hotter recently. And if you add 5% of streak in here, you'll see that goes up even more. Yep. I'm tempted to throw streaks in there because they would have been sort of helpful. See how that changes a lot. I'm adding a 3% streak in there. I also want to up pitcher win percentage a little bit. It's bring this down. Bring this down. We're changing on the fly here. 43% margin. Let's try that. Let's see what that does. Move something a little bit down there. Yeah, it brings Boston in even more. So Boston to win there at an underdog line somehow. I mean, that will go on there. Then Mets and Dodgers. Mets win one last night and don't go quietly. Tonight, Urias is 3-5 somehow with a 2.89 ERA, and his whip is a little higher. Sorry, his whip is higher. No, actually, yeah, weird stats for Julio Urias. I don't know why the Dodgers seem to be blowing games that he pitches. Trevor Williams having a similar problem, but his ERA is higher. Big lineup factors. So for some reason, weird. Yeah, tough call. Betting on this weirdness here, like Urias is supposed to pitch well, yet he keeps losing. He wins 30%. He's pitched 10 games and lost 5 of them. That's what's weird. Is he's not even no decisions. It's like he's getting. How does he have such a low ERA and getting hit early enough to lose? It's like there's no Dodger run support for him. Very weird game. I'm not going to make a call on that game, but I do see a juicy Met line, although they're not supposed to cover 1.5. It's a tough call there. St. Louis and Chicago. Wow, St. Louis all the way. Justin Steele no good, and it's showing. So St. Louis to win goes on there as well. So long video, I know. In summary, we've got it all highlighted. It's Cleveland to win, and then Cleveland 10 runs, team runs. It's Arizona to win at -149 over Pittsburgh. Arizona runs here, by the way, is another one because of that. Because I didn't talk about game over-unders as much. I did, but not really. Where's the highest projected scoring games? It's this Yankee game at 9.4. There's 9.4, 9.7 in the Cleveland-Baltimore game. Oh, yeah, you got to go alternate over in this game with the weather nice. I mean, that's only... How did I not talk about that? Yeah, this has got to be an over because that's last year's Kremers, but Plesac's is at 5, and the lineup factors are okay. Yeah, that's got to be an over here, too. So, I mean, you're talking, 1, 2, 3. That's why, because I said Cleveland team over, but this is a game over. So in this situation, because it's already predicting almost 9.7, weather warm and nice, I'll do an alternate over in this game of like over 11.5 or something, which pays like 250 or 3 plus 300, 3-1 as a straight bet. Because if the game starts off with a lot of runs, you can cash a bet like this out and for double its money in like the third inning if they're not even there. Or you can wait it out if they're just knocking the ball out of the park and you win 3-1 on your money. I have hit, I think, I can remember the last 2 days I've hit at least 1 out of 2 for sure where I did this. I did alternate over, missed one. I think I had 2 out of 3 actually. Big alternate overs. You're not going to hit them every day, but when you hit them for 2.5 or 3-1, you only have to hit at least 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 3 to make money. And you will do that when the algorithm, if you look at what I've said the last few days about over-unders, they have hit. Similar situation here. Cincinnati team runs over the 9.5. I don't want to go too far alternate over here because of the wind blowing in Cincinnati 6 miles an hour, but Corbin's supposed to get hit. So Cincinnati team runs has got to be on here. As well. Minnesota what? It said under in this game, right? It said a weird... No, it said Minnesota plus 1.5. But Toronto's got the margins. This is not a pick of the day. This is not good, actually. Sometimes I start reaching for picks. That's not good, but there was an under situation here, right? Because that's 5.4 and this is 8.5. So I think I highlighted the wrong one, but I want the under, not the over. So we want the under here. And then Washington over. What's getting highlighted here? The over in this game. Yep, that's right. Over in this game, and Cincinnati team runs. Can go on competing round robins. San Francisco with Junis it liked because of this matchup. Miami there. New stats for Braxton Green coming off AAA. San Francisco, a better team in general there as well. So San Francisco to win is on there. I'm starting to repeat myself. Liked Milwaukee consistency, liked the under, which now the under just went up in this game to 6.2. Why did it do that? Because I added streaks in slightly. And interesting. And these teams have kind of not been playing well, but what did that do? So interesting, that messed with the over-under. I don't like betting unders on also like on my big round robins because you have to wait till the end to know it. I don't like losing it late. So I'm an anti-under person in baseball because it's a game with no time limit. And so I like overs in those scenarios because you can hit weird alternate overs. Games could essentially run forever. So if you can get a really, really big over that pays really, really well, I'd rather do that than bet an under in a game where the algorithm thinks the under. But that doesn't mean there's no place for unders. It just means I don't necessarily like throwing them on big round robins. Then there was Texas to win because of this pitching matchup, and they can, so that's on there. Boston to win, St. Louis to win. And then there might have been an over. Yeah, there was a team over for Colorado here against Morton in Colorado. Makes a lot of sense that they hit their team over a 5. So that's what's on there, guys. All right, good luck. May all your picks be winning. I hope that was as extensive as we can be. That's the effort I'm going to put into it today. I'm going to be out doing stuff. So I'm going to make these round robin bets and then just leave a little bit in there to look at any straight bet possibilities that I'll glance at throughout the day. But I don't want to focus on any of this. I actually want to do more payroll. You can see I did a video about Arkansas payroll today. I'm going to do some more payroll videos and get through that entire list and get all that done as well. So good luck, everybody. If you do one thing, why don't I have Houston on here? I ignored Houston when I was just talking about picks. If you do one thing, okay. I want my pick of the day to be an extreme pick of the day because I like my pick of the day hitting 3 to 1 because then there's a reason why I'm saying it. Like I'll be like, hey everybody, this is what the algorithm really pointed out was an extreme thing. Well, this 9.7 runs in a game where the weather is nice and an over/under of let's call it 9. All right. With this craziness, when you use 2021 stats, I mean the algorithm really says that Cleveland puts up runs. So they're on the road. I'm just going to stop talking. There is no pick of the day. There's a million picks of the day. Just use the algorithm to use its intelligence to wager appropriately as you go down the line. I'm certainly going to do an alternate over in this game because that sounds like a great idea. And it's going to be fun to watch. I'll probably do something like over. You don't want to go completely berserk and be like, over 14.5. Don't do that because that's not going to hit once every other day. That's going to hit once every 5 days. But what you can do is be like, all right, over 11.5 is going to pay over 200. So that's my pick of the day for fun because algorithm's confirming a lot of this. And good luck. May all your picks be winning.